The great Brahma gods from each of the 5 pure abodes brought the news to all beings that 100,000 years from now, a perfectly enlightened Buddha would arise in the world. Those who wish to meet up with him must maintain the 5 moral precepts and constantly develop loving kindness. Humans and deities wondered who the future Buddha might be, but no answer was forthcoming until a sign appeared, making the identity of the heavenly Bodhisattva known. The deities and Brahmas met together for the sake of inquiring who the Enlightened One would be. At that very moment, the answer became clear, as they all saw the 5 preliminary signs appearing in Santusita Devaputa. The 5 signs which appeared were withering of the decorative celestial flowers on his body, the divine raiment becoming discolored, sweat dripping from his armpits, his complexion becoming mottled, and a feeling of weariness with the heavenly world arising within him. Upon recognizing the 5 preliminary signs, the deities invited Santusita, the Buddha to depart from Dusita heaven and take birth in the human world. Santusita Devaputa then made the 5-fold survey of the earth to see if conditions were right for his birth. The first criterion was that the lifespan for human beings at the time must not be too short nor too long, suitable for attaining the Dhamma. The continent must be India and the country the middle country. He must be born either into the warrior caste or as a Brahmin, and his mother must be one pure in moral conduct with much accumulated spiritual virtue. Seeing that all of these conditions were fulfilled, the Buddha-to-be accepted the invitation to be born upon the earth.
How do you Royal astrologers, interpret the Queen's dream.
Your wife, the Queen's dream, indicates that you are to have a son. He will possess tremendous merit, great power and might. He will be peerless.
My lord, tradition calls for me to return to my family home at Dewataha to give birth.
You have my permission.
Counselors, let's stop and rest here. We have now completed half of our journey. The forest park of Lumpini is so beautiful and shady. We've been traveling half the day. You must all be tired. Let's rest for a while.
Your Highness, if that is your wish, then please rest beneath that solid tree over there.
I feel as if I'm about to give birth.
Quickly, join in and help. Her Majesty's time has come. Hurry, hurry!
As soon as the Bodhisattva was delivered from his mother's womb, and before he could drop to the ground, 4 great Brahma gods from the 5 pure abodes spread a net of gold to receive his body. On that day, the full moon of the 6th month, the year of the Buddha's birth, equivalent to 623 BC.
I am supreme in the world, foremost in the world, most excellent in the world. This is my last birth. There will be no more birth for me.
The Brahmin Gondanya was very pleased to hear the news that Prince Siddhartha had gone forth, and hurried to seek out the sons of each of the 7 other Brahmins with whom he had divined the identity of the Bodhisattva according to his physical characteristics when he was just born. He managed to gather and persuade only 4 of these sons, and then together the 5 Brahmins left the household life and set off in search of the great renunciant. The 5 Brahmins now gone forth were Gondanya, Vapa, Badiya, Mahanama, and Asaji. This group of 5 together were known as the Pankavaggiya. The Pankavaggiya followed after the Bodhisattva through various places until they found him practicing ardently in the place where he had settled. They settled there with him, attending to his needs, with the hope that when he attained enlightenment, he would teach the Dhamma to them. The renunciant prince was intent on seeking the path to enlightenment, so he took up 3 of the extreme ascetic practices that were favored by the practitioners of those days. For the first period, he pressed his teeth against his teeth and his tongue against his palate, so firmly that sweat ran from his whole body. The pain was as severe as if someone were gripping his throat tightly, strangling him. When he saw that this was not the way to enlightenment, he gave up on the practice and changed to another method. For the second period, he restricted his in and out breaths, stifling them until both his ears rung loudly, his head ached, and his stomach racked with pain, his body as if on fire. But no matter how great the distress, he did not give up his efforts until he saw that this was not the way to enlightenment. Seeing this, he gave up the practice and changed to another method. For the third period, he fasted until he was emaciated, wrinkled, his complexion discolored, his bones and sinews extruding. Exhausted of energy and suffering greatly, rubbing his hand over his body, the hairs stuck to his palm.
I've carried out the extreme ascetic practices, pushing the body to limits which no other could exceed. Why have I not yet attained enlightenment? Or perhaps this path is not the way to liberation.
The Bodhisattva is worrying and wondering about the path to realization. What's the best way to help him? Aha! This is the way.
One string of that lute is too tight. A little pluck and it snaps. One string is too loose. When plucked, the sound is barely heard. One string is just right, not too loose, not too tight. When plucked, the sound resonates far and wide, sweetly. Oh, it is the practice of the middle way that leads to enlightened knowledge. But the current state of my body surely can't support efforts in developing the mind along the middle path of practice.
Prince Siddhartha, whom we had held in esteem as a bodhisattva, bound for success, even after practicing strictly for 6 years, using all his effort, is still unable to achieve enlightenment. Now he's relaxed his efforts. And eating proper food again. How will he ever succeed?
Quite so. Venerable Kondanya, you're the most senior amongst us. What do you think we should do?
Under the circumstances, there can be no use in attending to him any longer. The time has come for us to take our leave. On the night of the 14th waxing moon of the 6th lunar month, as dawn was approaching and the Bodhisattva close to waking, 5 auspicious signs appeared in his dreams. Which he interpreted as follows. 1. He would achieve enlightenment as the Buddha. 2. He would declare the true Dhamma for the benefit of all humans and deities. 3. A great number of people would come to train under him, thus establishing the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. 4. People of all castes and classes after training under him would come to understand the same pure Dhamma. 5. People from all over the world would bring offerings to him to express their faith and trust, but his heart would remain unstained by even the slightest attachment to such wealth. In the village of Uruvela Senanigama, there lived a wealthy man's daughter named Suchata. When she was young, she made a vow to the deity abiding in a banyan tree close by, so that she might have a husband of equal wealth and birth, and that her first child might be a son. Once her wishes had been fulfilled, she prepared a rice dish, prepared with cow's milk and honey, as an offering to honor the tree deity.
Madam Suchata! Madam Suchata!
What's the matter, Puna? Why are you rushing in such an excited way?
It seems that the tree god has come to receive your offering. I saw him at the banyan tree over there with my own eyes. He's glowing with a beautiful halo all around him.
Everyone, quickly, help! Puna, go and fetch a golden tray for the honeyed milk rice. We'll take it out to offer to the tree god. Quickly, go, go! All of my wishes have been so graciously granted. Please, may I offer this meal of honeyed milk rice and this golden tray to you?
I offer this prayer. If I am to succeed in realizing perfectly enlightened knowledge, may this golden tray float up the river against the current. But if I am not to achieve my goal, may this tray float downstream with the current.
In no long time, 3 Buddhas have become enlightened here, and now one more is about to attain to the Dharma.
I'm a Brahmin called Satyasa. I'm inspired with great faith at the sight of you. Please let me show my respect. May I offer you 8 handfuls of blade grass?
For as long as I have not yet attained to supreme enlightened knowledge, even if my blood and flesh should dry up with only skin, bone, and sinews remaining, I shall not rise from this seat.
I've been following Prince Siddhartha's every step, so as to stop him from achieving enlightenment. If I let him go ahead with this, he'll slip out of my grasp for sure. I must cut him off now. I must destroy him. Ha 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 ha. The power of the Bodhisattva's spiritual qualities and goodness, accumulated over countless lifetimes, protected him as though in invisible armor, his heart steady and peaceful, unshaken by fear. Prince Siddhartha, Do you think you can escape from Vasavati Mara's control? Ha 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 ha! Huh? My powerful weapons cannot harm the prince. I must make use of a ruse to deceive him. Prince Siddhartha, the seat you sit on came to be because of my own spiritual powers. My troops are my witnesses. You must get up at once.
Pay attention, King of Deceivers. This seat comes to me as the fruit of my good actions, accumulated through all of my efforts in the past.
Then who will bear witness to your ownership of this seat?
I will bear witness.
Dharani, goddess of the earth!
All the merit made by his good actions in the past, even the water which he has poured on the ground in dedication of merit, soaked up by my hair and kept close to my head, is sufficient to bear witness to his virtues.
After his victory over Mara and his host of deceivers, the Bodhisattva's mind was firm, focused, and concentrated. At dusk, the Bodhisattva began to develop meditative insight, attaining to the first knowledge, Pubenivasa Nusatinyana, the ability to recollect his past lives. In the silence of the late night, he attained the second knowledge, Kutu Papa Tanyana, knowledge of the passing away and rebirth of beings according to the results of their actions. Close to dawn, the Bodhisattva attained to the third knowledge, Asavakayanana, knowledge of the destruction of mental defilements, complete liberation and freedom from suffering. He thus came to be the fully self-awakened Buddha.
Craving. With you I've been born again and again, but now you are revealed, and your power redundant.
After the Bodhisattva had attained to the Dhamma and become the Buddha, he sat under the Maha Bodhi tree, enjoying the bliss of freedom for 7 days. Then he went and stood in the open, gazing back at the Maha Bodhi tree and recollecting its virtues. He stood there and gazed, without blinking for 7 days. After that, the new Buddha walked back and forth between the Mahabodhi tree and the place where he had stood for another 7 days. Having walked meditation for 7 days, for the 4th week he sat meditation in a crystal shelter prepared for him by heavenly beings. He sat and contemplated the most profound Dhamma for 7 days.
Junta gave me my last meal, but unless I make the matter clear, people may think that his alms food was the cause for my passing away. Ananda, alms food offered on 2 occasions is of special merit and will give great fruit. The honeyed milk rice offered by Sujata supported me at the time when I ended the mental defilements. The Sukara Madhava offered by Junta will take me to the ending of the 5 aggregates, the last residue of conditioned thing. Should anyone blame Junta, you should explain what I've told you. Should Junta blame himself, you must ease his worry with these words of mine. The food which Junta offered to me was the final meal that sustained me. Ananda, from now on, I will not rise up from this place again. Ananda, if in the future someone should offer material things of great value as tribute to me, no matter how great the value of such thing, such a tribute would not be the highest homage. Ananda, whoever should practice according to the Dhamma which is rightly taught by me, such a person pays the highest homage. Ananda, I will pass into Parinibbāna tonight.
Lord Buddha, please don't pass away in a small town as Kusinara. Please travel on to a large city, such as Savatthi, Kosambi, or Varanasi. These cities have large numbers of noble, Brahmins, and householders who have great faith in you and the lessons you have given them.
Ananda, do not fault Kusinara for being such a small town. In the past, it was a great capital city with tremendous wealth, abundant food, and many citizens. The sounds of singing and music were heard throughout the day and all night. Another thing, should I go to pass away elsewhere, Supada Paribhajaka would not meet with me, and therefore would miss the opportunity to attain enlightenment. If I should attain to Parinibbāna in another city, a great war would break out with squabbling over my bodily relics as the cause. Here in Kusinara lives Dona the Brahmin. He is capable of quelling such disputes. He will distribute the relics of my cremated body amongst the nobles who come here from many different cities. As a result, there will be no war. These are the reasons I have made the effort to reach Kusinara.
In the past, great numbers of those with faith in the Dharma would travel from every direction to seek you out, listen to your teachings, and ask you questions. But from now on, all those people and myself will be deprived of the opportunity to see you and to have an audience with you.
Ananda, there are 4 places which are apt for recollection of me. 1. Lumpini Park, where I was born. 2. Bodh Gaya in the state of Magadha, where I was enlightened. 3. The Deer Park at Isipatana, where I gave the first Dhamma teaching. And finally, the place of my Parinibbāna Salavana Park in Kusinara, right here. Those who make pilgrimage to these 4 locations will experience disenchantment with the world and feel inspiration to follow in my footsteps.
Lord Buddha, in this celibate life, one often encounters women. Some are mothers, sisters, and relatives of monks. Others are those with faith in the Triple Gem. How should a bhikkhu practice in relation to women?
Ananda, a bhikkhu ought not to look at women at all. It is better this way.
But if a bhikkhu must see women, how should he behave towards them?
Ananda, if it's necessary to see women, they ought not to engage in conversation with them. It is better this way.
If it is necessary to converse with women, how should a bhikkhu practice?
In that case, a bhikkhu should have well-controlled mindfulness and sense restraint. He should have orderly speech and guard his mind from falling prey to lust or infatuation. The beautiful things of this world themselves are not sense desire, but the lust which arises in one's mind due to unwholesome intention, that is a person's sense desire. Once one has abandoned pleasure in unwholesome states, beautiful objects of this world still exist, but there is no way one can be harmed by them.
Lord Buddha, after you have passed into Parinibbāna, how should we treat your body?
Use the method for treating the body of a wheel-turning monarch. Wrap the body in 500 layers of white cloth, lined with cotton wool. Then place it in a coffin with perfumed oil. Then place the coffin on a pyre of sandalwood. Once the body has been cremated, enshrine the relics in a stupa, which is to be built at a crossroads, so that people can pay their respects there for a long time to come.
Supata is intent on having audience with the Buddha. Now each of the Mala dynasty kings have just finished approaching the Blessed One, who is sick. If I allow any more guests, it'll be a great burden on him. Supata, I can't permit you to see the Buddha. At this time, he is seriously ill and must rest.
Ananda, please allow Supata to come to me.
At this time, there are 6 renowned schools of doctrine. Each has many followers. Of these 6, can you tell me which are led by an arahant?
Supata, in any faith which does not have the Noble Eightfold Path, there is no true samanas to be found there. Should bhikkhus or non-bhikkhus continue to practice the Noble Eightfold Path, this world will not lack for arahants. Now listen to my teaching of the Dhamma. This heart is luminous, shining like the moon, but it is subject to incoming defilements. As such, it is dulled and obscured, like the moon concealed by passing clouds.
Lord Buddha, teacher of the most excellent Dharma, you make right that which I've wrongly seen for so very long. Please may I take ordination in the Buddha's dispensation?
Ananda, please take on the task of ordaining Supata as a bhikkhu. Supata, consider the hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, and skin, as well as all materiality and immateriality, according to the truth. Such things are changing, decaying, impermanent, suffering and not self, not a being, not a person, not I, not mine, not myself, not him, not his, not himself. Supata, your supports for the holy life will be alms food, simple robes to cover yourself, the base of a tree for lodging, and fermented urine for medicine, following the ways of nature.
Having received instruction from the Buddha, Supata went off alone and practiced contemplation until attaining to arahantship that very night. Venerable Supata is considered to be the last disciple who attained to enlightenment while the Buddha was still alive.
Loyal bhikkhus, when I have passed away, the 84,000 teaching of Dhamma Vinaya will be your teacher. Don't think to yourselves, now that the Buddha has passed away, we'll have no teacher. Truly the Dhamma which I have taught and the Vinaya which I have laid down will be your teacher in place of me. You must take the Dhamma Vinaya as your refuge. Don't take anything else as your refuge. Even I, the Tathagata, am only the one who points the way.
Lord Buddha is about to abandon me. and enter Parinibbāna. With all my effort attending to and following the Buddha, I have still not attained to arahantship as the other monks have.
Venerable Ananda, I've been sent here to find you. The Buddha wants to see you.
Ananda, come and sit close by. Ananda, don't be consumed by sorrow. It's natural for all conditioned things not to last. All that arises must decay, break apart, and pass away. You have traveled with and cared for me for a long time. Now you must make efforts towards your own liberation. In no long time, you will be fully enlightened. Ananda, Channa Bhikkhu has views of self-importance because he's been close to me since the household life. He has become stubborn and difficult to teach. Once I have passed away, he will become even more stubborn and disrespectful, refusing to take instruction from any monk. You must give him the Brahma penalty. How do we impose the Brahma penalty? All the monks must refrain from speaking to, instructing, and admonishing Channa. Having received this punishment, Channa will realize his fault and change his ways. Finally, he will attain to arahantship. Loyal bhikkhus, for as long as the Sangha meets regularly together, in harmony, with respect for the disciplinary rules, and with humility towards the senior monks, careful not to fall under the influence of craving, content to live in the forest, and wishing happiness to all that come to live and practice. For as long as the Sangha is not preoccupied with work, not prone to indulging in talk, not given to excessive sleeping, not socializing without good cause, not given to indulging unwholesome desires, not falling under the power of evil intentions, not consorting with bad people, not giving up effort in practice, but striving for the attainment of higher dhammas. For so long there will be no decline for the Sangha, but only development and growth. Bhikkhus, I remind you that all conditioned things are of the nature to decline and cease. Free of heedlessness, develop yourselves and benefit others to the utmost.